Welcome to the class, everyone. Let's jump right in. In today's explainer, we're going to build your ultimate toolkit for finalizing executive reports. You know, we spend so much time digging through data and crafting the body of our reports, but how we actually close those documents, that's what leaves a lasting impression on our readers. So let's master those conclusion connectors.
So let me pose this question directly to you. How do you effectively end an executive report? We've all read documents that just kinda fall off a cliff, right? One minute you're deep in the analysis, and the very next line, the page is blank. It is jarring. It's an abrupt ending. To fix that, we absolutely must signal clear finality in our business writing. We have to clearly tell our reader, hey, we're wrapping this up. Here are the final takeaways.
Here's our syllabus for today. 1. The power of finality. 2. Formal executive connectors. 3. Conversational business writing. 4. Transitioning from analysis to final recommendations. And 5. A quick common mistakes checklist. Let's dive right into this.
Section 1. The power of finality. Let's define exactly why these words matter so much.
By definition, conclusion connectors are those words and phrases used at the very end of a report or discussion to summarize main points, give a final opinion, and signal that you're finishing up your ideas. I want you to think of these connectors like giant bright red stop signs or clear wrap-up signals for the busy executives reading your work. You're deliberately telling them the journey is coming to an end. Now, why do they matter? Well, if you're taking notes, definitely jot these down. These words completely transform your document flow. First, they help you end your writing clearly. Second, they concisely summarize important information. Third, they frame your final thoughts. Fourth, they make your presentations just so much more organized. And finally, they improve the overall coherence and flow of the entire document. Without them, honestly, your writing is just a bunch of disconnected facts. Moving right along to Section 2, Formal Executive Connectors. These are your top-tier, highly formal connectors, built for strict top-level executive environments where professionalism is absolutely non-negotiable. Let's compare two heavy hitters. On the left, we have in conclusion, and on the right, to conclude. Notice they're both marked as very formal. They mean almost the exact same thing, and both are perfectly correct for official reports. Dropping either of these into your document sets a very strict professional tone right before you deliver that final verdict. And this brilliantly illustrates how we apply them in the real world. Let's walk through these 6 clear examples together and really listen to the authority in these sentences. Number 1. In conclusion, the project was completed on time. Number 2. To conclude, the experiment confirmed our hypothesis. Number 3. In summary, the company experienced significant growth. Number 4. In brief, the project was highly successful. Number 5. In brief, the report recommends immediate action. And number 6, in brief, the company exceeded its targets. Notice how punchy that is? They demand attention, they're strict, they're formal, and they leave zero room for confusion. All right, Section 3, Conversational Business Writing. Because let's face it, we don't always want to sound like we're publishing a peer-reviewed scientific journal, right? Sometimes you're just writing a team update. So let's contrast 2 similar phrases. On the left, we have in summary, which is very formal, great for big reports. But over on the right, look at to sum up. It's a subtle little grammatical shift, but to sum up is slightly less formal and way more conversational. It is the perfect phrase for your weekly team check-in email. Let's do one more comparison here. On the left, overall, this gives a more formal general conclusion. But on the right, we have all in all. Now, all in all still gives a final judgment, but it's totally neutral. It's incredibly well suited for informal writing, chatting with your team, or doing a really quick project review. Okay, let's see this conversational tone in action with 6 specific examples. Notice how effortlessly these fit into everyday communication. Number 1, to sum up, the new policy benefits both employees and employers. Number 2, to sum up, the results were better than expected. Number 3, overall, the event was a great success. Number 4, all in all, the project achieved its goals. Number 5, in short, we need better planning. And number 6, in short, the strategy was successful. See? They're completely natural, super clear, and perfect for your daily emails without feeling stiff or robotic. Moving to Section 4, Analysis to Final Recommendations. This is where it gets really fun. How do we sequence these connectors to seamlessly transition a reader from deep analysis to a final recommendation? Let's slowly walk through this paragraph block together. In summary, online learning has many advantages. Overall, it helps learners study more conveniently. Ultimately, its success depends on the student's motivation. In conclusion, online education is an effective learning method.
Do you see the brilliant stepping stones here? We start with in summary, just to gather our points. Then, we use overall to give a general sentiment. Next, we use ultimately to drill down into the final outcome or dependency. And boom, we finish with in conclusion for that definitive final verdict. You're literally holding the reader's hand and guiding them right to your recommendation.
Now, what's really helpful about this slide is it serves as a master cheat sheet for the taxonomy we just learned. Look at the table. In conclusion is for your final conclusion, and it is very formal. To sum up, summarizes points and sits at a formal level. Ultimately, focuses on the final outcome, also formal. And in short, gives a snappy summary with a neutral formality. Keep a mental snapshot of this table whenever you sit down to draft a report.
And finally, Section 5, our common mistakes checklist.
Let's make absolutely sure you don't ruin a beautifully polished report with basic errors right at the finish line. Rule number 1, do not use more than one conclusion connector together. This is called stacking, and we'll see why it's bad in a second. Rule number 2, do not use conclusion connectors in the middle of a report. Remember what we said earlier? These are stop signs. You don't just drop a stop sign in the middle of the highway. And rule number 3, do match the formality level to the situation. Formal reports need formal words, and informal update needs informal words. Okay, let's look at a direct side-by-side example of that first mistake, stacking. On the left, it says, in conclusion, to sum up, education is important. Oof, that is incorrect. It's entirely redundant and just clunky to read. On the right, we have the fix. Just pick one. You can say, in conclusion, education is important, or you can say, to sum up, education is important. One clear signal is all your reader needs. Don't overcomplicate it.
All right, class, as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with this provocative thought. The next time you finish drafting a document, ask yourself, ultimately, does my final sentence leave a lasting impact, or does it just abruptly stop? By purposefully applying the connectors we learned today, you are going to ensure that your business writing is never jarring, always flows perfectly, and remains impactful from the very first word to the very last. Thanks for joining me today, and happy writing!